Beautiful. All right. What is up, sister friends? So today we actually have my first ever guest, Courtney McCarthy, who is guest speaking here on Heart to Heart. So last week we talked about boundaries. And like I told you guys in my first episode, I really want this to be a place where like we connect and we empower each other, inspire each other, and just tell our amazing stories. Because as female fitness entrepreneurs, I feel like it can get super lonely out here in these streets, and we all go through so much, and we all have such unique stories. So I'm actually so excited, Courtney, because I have had so many questions about you since meeting you, because I just find you so intriguing as a human being. I've even it's going to sound so creepy, but I even like was talking to you about you to my dad. I was like, I have this amazing girl, like I've been, coaching, and I'm like mind blown by your story. And I just have had so many questions about you. You're just so genuine and all of that. So anyways, go ahead and introduce yourself. I won't introduce you. Just tell us a little bit about who you are and all the things.
Well, it's so surreal being here, first off, I think, because I got your video that you sent me when I became an LCA student, and I was just like, okay, here we go. And it just was the best time with you. So I'm so happy to be here. But my name is Courtney. I live in Austin area, Texas right now. Live with my mom and dad because, they're helping me. They're just blessing me right now. So I'm with them. I have a little sister who is like my twin. Everyone thinks we are the same, and she's just my best friend. And I'm a big cat lady. I love cats and peanut butter. Cats and peanut butter are two of my favorite things.
Same.
Oh no, we're frozen.
Oh, give it a second. Am I frozen still?
Oh no.
How about now? There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry. That's probably my connection.
Okay.
Yeah. And I, have been fitness wise, I've been on my own fitness journey for like 10 years, and
Wow.
And it's been like that too. And yeah, moving to Thailand in a few months, back to Thailand, and just, so excited.
Love it. I also love cats and peanut butter, so totally can resonate. The first time I met my fiance, I was out here visiting, and the whole time I was here, I just ate peanut butter the whole time. What is the deal? So I totally get that. So are you originally from Austin, Texas?
I was born in Arizona.
Okay.
And most of my family is over there on the West Coast, and we moved to Texas because my dad's a football coach. And so obviously he was like, we need to go to where the state religion is football. And so we moved to Texas in 2001.
Okay.
And my parents are both teachers, and Arizona is actually ranked like 48th or something like that. It's like one of the worst states for education, and the teachers don't get paid very much. And so moved to Texas and been in the Austin area ever since, except for college. I went to Texas A&M in college.
Very cool. So how old are you, Courtney? I don't even know.
I just turned 28.
Okay. All right. I was like, we're close in age. I'll be 31, but I thought you were I was like, is she like 25, 26? I had no idea. So a lot of people say that.
People think I'm 24. Yeah.
So what got you started on your fitness journey? So you said you've been on a fitness journey for about 10 years. So what kind of started that for you?
Yeah. So I was not athletic in high school at all. I played softball, but I really just sat the bench and sang the national anthem. That was pretty much my only contribution to the team. And then, so in college, once I was introduced, or I was allowed to eat whatever I wanted, and I started eating McDonald's. There was a McDonald's right next to my house. So I would eat McDonald's all the time and drink a lot of beer, because I had my freedom, and gained like 30 pounds my freshman year of college. didn't realize it, didn't know, didn't care. Social media is just not what it is now. So like, I just feel like it didn't matter. And then I got a boyfriend and he was like, hey, we should join a gym. And I was like, why? And then I looked in the mirror and got on the scale and I was like, oh, because I've gained 30 pounds. Like maybe we should go to the gym. And so got in the gym, but my roommate at the time, just kind of toxic, in a lot of ways. And so she was like, well, what I do is I just don't eat for a week. And then it like shrinks my stomach. And then we don't really eat much and we can lose the weight.
Oh my God.
Lost like 30 pounds in 3 months. It was,
oh my God.
And I was running every single day, going to the gym every single day. And I was eating a chicken breast and like some noodles. And that was all I was eating a day. And so lost all a bunch of weight, got sickly. I didn't even look good. I just looked too skinny. And then, moved back to Arizona for a while. And then I wanted to eat normal food, gained all of it back, and then got into made friends who are bodybuilders, and they like taught me like
Gotcha.
what food does for you, how to work out. And then I really just started learning so much and was like, oh, so I don't have to starve myself and work out 7 days a week, so
it's amazing. Wow. So similar to you, I also didn't play a sport in my life. I tried out for every sport, and all of the coaches, I'm sure, were like, what the hell does this girl think she's doing? But similarly, like I didn't know how to eat either. And I'll never forget when I was like 21, 22, I was like, my snack was like 6 almonds and 3 dried apricots.
Yes.
And my friends would be like, aren't you hungry? And when you're like in that stage, you're like, no, I'm not hungry. Never hungry. Not me.
You'd like teach yourself to like the feeling of hunger. Like you're like, oh, that's good. I'm hungry. Like
I'm going to get skinnier. Yeah. I used to be like, this means I'm getting skinnier right now.
Yes. I thought the same exact thing.
Yeah. It's so sad. But it is a huge part of what makes you an amazing coach, because those like thoughts and feelings. But I do find it so. I also was a kickboxing instructor. So like, how did you get started in kickboxing?
So I, really long story short, I made some really bad decisions, a bad decision, and then had to start just fixing things and paying for things. And I knew I wanted to go to Thailand. And so I had to get a second job in order to pay for everything.
Okay.
Ran into my friend at the gym from high school church. And he was like, well, I run the Title Boxing Club and I need a front desk person if you want to come there. Cause I bartended in the evening. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. I can work. And it was early, 6 to 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon. And so I went there, started just working the front desk. It would take the classes and I thought they were so much fun. And then one day I was working and then the trainer just didn't show up.
Oh shit.
And so I'm like looking and like, there are 15 people ready to take this class. And I just put on a microphone and like ran over there and I was like, all right, I'm gonna teach this class. And luckily I'd been taking like so many classes that it really, I just was like, okay, what did I do this morning? And trying to like think, and they were all so gracious with me. All the members. And then after that, I like went up to my boss and I was like, dude, and he was like, let's get you, like, let's start training you. And so then the head trainer like trained me to box better because I didn't know what I was doing. And then I started teaching, and then it's just so fun. It's so much fun.
That's so cool. First of all, that just says a lot about who you are, and like, being an entrepreneur and like all the pieces that are Courtney, like quitting your job this year at Chewy's, right?
Yep. Yeah.
You're a risk taker and you're willing to like put yourself out there and just like, all right, let's see what happens kind of thing. And I love that quality. But I love kickboxing too. Like kickboxing is how I kind of got started into fitness. Like I moved to North Carolina when I was 19 and I didn't have any friends. So, and I was still obsessed with being skinny. So I like, I need to exercise. And so I found the kickboxing studio I went to, it's not a popular place. Like they're not everywhere, but it was called Palangi Kickboxing.
Cool.
And yeah, that's how I got started. I just started going to classes and then just was obsessed. I went to probably like 8 to 10 classes a week. Like I was like nonstop.
Doing 2 a day?
I would go twice a day. Like
that's crazy.
I'm a recovering stress addict. So like being constantly going was so like, this is how I stay sane when really I needed like meditation and yoga, not more kickboxing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was like obsessed with kickboxing. So then I became an instructor and then I ended up managing that gym, which led me to becoming a personal trainer because I was like, I need to take this up a notch because it wasn't like, I don't know what title like teaches, but Palangi was like just for like aerobic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I didn't know like really how to teach someone to do a proper squat or like anything like that. But we would do those things in class. Right. But I'm like not qualified really to be like, your lunges are messed up, lady. Right. Yeah. So that's how I got into personal training.
Wow. Same exact thing. I became manager and then, I did some personal training and then became manager and started training on the side.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. It's so parallel.
You were like, same thing. Like, I want to like be able to help more than just like teaching the class. What do you think was like your biggest takeaway of like teaching classes? Like, I think it's such a crucial part of like the whole journey from like being an instructor to becoming this entrepreneur and coach. Like classes were huge for me. So like, what was that for you?
I love that question because it really is like, I can get so deep when I think about the class, like, because I plan out every single thing, like from the minute the bell rings till the last bell. Like I have to have it all planned. I cannot wing classes because I like them to be structured. Like each round is structured from like a combo to a speed round back to like I just like it very organized. And then one time I was in the class and I like read the combo wrong or something, or I wasn't prepared. And then I realized like, these people just want a good workout. Yeah. They just want a good workout. And like, if I'm stressed out about like it was an uppercut instead of a cross, like they're not going to know and they're not going to care. Like they just want a good workout. And now that I'm even kind of saying this, the pressure that I put on myself in every single aspect of my life is too much. Same with classes. I'd be like, oh, this combo, like, they're not going to like this combo or like, this is such a stupid combo. What am I doing? Or whatever it is, like they don't care. They just want to come in there and someone have a good attitude and good energy and like get them to move. It's 5:30 in the morning. Like they don't care that I did jab cross in a row. Like they don't care. And so talking about it now, I think the biggest thing looking back is that the pressure is all just from me, and people just are in there to be with you, to be like with your energy and to hit the bag. That's all. That's it.
I know. So I definitely struggle. Like one of my good girl shadows is like, you must be the best and you must be perfect. And with classes, I was the exact same way. And I was like, I'm so competitive with myself. So like, I don't actually care like what you're doing, but I need to be like top tier based on my perception of what top tier is. So I would be like, this has to be the best class they've ever taken in their entire life.
Yes, I know it. Like even down to the playlist, I'm like, the playlist has to be perfect. Like,
be like, I used to like be like, oh, I'm gonna even make it even better. I would have like and then before the class we'd set an intention. Then after class we'd have like a mantra, like interpersonal like moment and all these things. And then the class is only an hour, but they're here for like the next hour and a half. And like my boss would be like, get these bitches out of here. Get them out. And I would be like, what? I have this for them, but I have this, but because I was so worried people would like hate the class if I didn't do that.
Yeah, that is so funny. Yeah, I didn't do that, but like I mean same, just same but different. That's hilarious. Why are we like that?
Well, and I think it shows a lot though, because with the classes, like I think when you first start, classes are like, I felt like for me, like the biggest, like it was like a big breakthrough of like, oh, I can coach, I can lead, people like me, people feel like they learn from me. And so it was helpful for my confidence to become a personal trainer and then be like, now I can do this one-on-one, but that definitely good girl energy carries with you. So then like with your one-on-ones, you're like, I don't know. Did you ever do one-on-ones?
Yeah, so I started as just a group coach or whatever, classes. And then my boss, I would not be where I am if it wasn't for him. He just saw something in me and he just kept pushing me, get your CPT, get your CPT. And I was like, no, like I want to, like, I don't know. I was like, I'm going to Thailand. I don't want to do this. And he just kept pushing me and just kept working with me and like kept training me. And then I realized like, I trained people all through college with me. They would come work out. People wanted to work out with me. Yeah. And so I would train them, teach them what I knew. And so I thought about it. I was like, no, I totally can do this. And like, this is what I'm good at. I'm not good at marketing well, I'm becoming better at marketing, but like at that point I was like, I don't know what I want to do. And I love training. And so, got my CPT, started training, and he even let me kind of train before I got my CPT, cause I've been doing it for a long time. And anyway, and I did a lot of one-on-one, which I love too. I love the therapeutic part it is for the client. And like, when they cuss at you or like
I hate you so much. And you just like laugh and you're like, do it again.
Yes. I'm like, okay, 2 more rounds.
So what do you like from in-person and coaching is like a core value that you kind of developed from that?
Yeah. Well, and especially too, whenever we do like the one-to-one, like when I have my one-to-one Zoom calls, like I feel like having that personal time where I'm with this person for an hour, I'm having to encourage them, but push them and like be their friend, but also be their coach. And like, cause I don't know, you did one-to-one training. Yeah. It's just like an instant, like, this is what's going on in my life, like just, it's like when I get my hair done, I'm like, let me tell you all of these issues I'm having. And so I feel like it helps you learn how to balance, like talking with, okay, enough, let's do this, and help like push them in a way that they are safe, they are learning, and to help build their confidence in themselves.
Yeah. So kind of like, do you feel like it helped you kind of learn that you could really be like a leader and a role model in all of that?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think being able to realizing that things that I just know, other people don't.
Yeah. That's
like, this has just been in my life for so long. And like an RDL, a client like doesn't even know what that means, And so it, I think, showed me that I can teach, like that I can lead by showing, and then also lead by example, I think, as well.
That's so awesome. And I kind of wanted to transition. So with asking about like, what made you decide to move to Thailand and help with human trafficking? Like, what was this all leading up to that decision, or was that something you always knew about yourself? Like,
so it is something I always knew. I was 14 and I went with my mom. She was like, we're going to Thailand this summer. And she and I didn't have that great of a relationship at the time. And I was just like, what's Thailand? You know, I'm 14. I'm like, I got a cell phone for the first time. Like, I don't care about Thailand. I want to text my friends, you know? And so, we went to Thailand, and long story short, I was on this pier at 14 and I was by myself, and I saw a girl who looked like really, really young, my age or younger, with an old man on her arm. And his shirt said, good guys go to heaven, bad guys go to Pattaya. And Pattaya was the city we were in. It's a sex tourism capital of the world. And it was that moment that everybody faded. It's me and her, and she smiles at me. And it was just the most empty smile. And I didn't understand it, because I was very sheltered. I was very innocent. So I didn't understand, but I knew something was wrong. And I heard God in the back of my head say, you are going to come back here. And so it was that time that I told the missionary family I met, I said, hey, I'm moving here. Don't know when, but I need to get your contact, and we have to stay in contact. And we did. And I went back 2 more times, stayed with them for my 21st birthday, went by myself, just stayed with them, and they showed me around. And so it was just time after time that I realized no, this is exactly where I want to be. And then just life got in the way a little bit sometimes. And I got very off. I took my eyes off the Lord for years in college, and trauma that I used as an excuse to blame God for, and then my own selfish decisions and actions that led to consequences, but then ultimately led me right to, okay, no, I have to make a change. And Thailand is the crazy goal I want to set for myself. That seems impossible, that I want to just work my ass off to get to. And so I knew when I was 14, but it was really in 2019 that I was let's do it. Life is passing. I need to just do it.
So powerful, and so crazy at 14 that you could feel your intuition and just God telling you you got to do something, and I'm going to help you get to it. Right. And that is so crazy. So crazy. So when you were working at the kickboxing gym and all of that, was that in 2019? And then you just kind of saved up and moved, kind of thing?
Yeah. 2019, I had $32,000 of debt, and I wanted to pay it off. That was March of 2019. And I said, by July 22nd, 2020, I'm paying everything off. I was I'm paying that $32,000 off. And so I worked 2 jobs. I worked 7 days a week, 2 or 3 days a week. I worked 15-hour days, didn't take a day off for 3 months, and then just paid it off early. And even when I lost both my jobs because of COVID, my best friend who passed away, his mom felt like she needed to give me this scholarship that she gives out every year for her son. Didn't know my financial goals, didn't know I'd lost my jobs, gives me this scholarship that I get to put towards my debt. And then I was in a hit and run accident, was not supposed to get money for the car, but it was a whole story, ended up getting 12 grand paid off. So it was things.
Oh my God.
But then I would turn around and I would get money from nowhere with no job, or because I was how am I going to pay this? I was having to put I was putting a minimum of $3 grand a month towards these loans to get them paid off. And then there were just times I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then God just kept providing each time. And so that I was able to pay it off and have money in savings and go to Thailand. So it all worked out perfectly, just perfectly. It was so weird.
That is so amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. And would not have been able to do it. I feel like I had to have crazy faith. Like that was the only way. Because I'm like, on paper, I'm like laughing. I'm like,
How's this gonna
it's
happen?
impossible,
Yeah.
and it worked. It worked out.
First of all, we're gonna pause. You are badass. Okay. You better know that and embrace that, because that's badass. That is like, just like, you should be so proud of that, because so many people wouldn't do that. First of all, you had a mission, you had a goal, you had a sight, and you said, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get there. And that's when I just love that quality in a person, because like, the world is crazy, life is crazy, but if you want something, you can make it happen. And then when you add faith on top of it, God's like, I love you so much, you trust me, here you go. Right. And like, one of the things, like, my fiance always, because I believe I have crazy faith as well, because I'm always like, it's gonna be fine, it's always fine. And my fiance's like, you're insane, like, why do you think that?
Well, your story, like how God has shown up from me listening to your podcast and like hearing about your story, like God really showed up and provided in a crazy way for you too.
Yeah, it's like, but like, when you pair work with faith, you are going to be blessed in ways that you don't know that you're going to be blessed. But it's always like, I was not insane for taking that massive risk and then working my ass off for it, or like whatever case may be. And, you have your mission to fight human trafficking. Like, it's the most admirable thing I have heard in years. I think that's why I'm so like, I need Courtney to tell everyone everything, because I just like, this girl is amazing, because you have such a clear mission, and it's like definitely one of God's missions, like save these girls, like, and I'm sure young boys. I don't know much about human trafficking, but like, that's huge to dedicate your life to that, and then have all of these reasons to give up on it, right? Because your situation is hard, right? You are in debt, you're working 2 jobs, you're all these COVID, but like, staying true to your mission of like, there's these humans that need my help across the ocean. Like, it's just so amazing. It's so amazing.
Thank you. I feel like there's this book, you know who Christine Kane is?
Mm-mm.
So she is just this woman from Australia who God put it on her heart about human trafficking in Greece, and she's Greek. And I read her book called Undaunted, and it's just about like doing what God has called you to do, and regardless of how crazy it sounds. And so she started this campaign called A21, and it's one of the biggest anti-human trafficking campaigns around the world. They rescue so many people, and they have like here in America, Thailand,
Wow.
Greece, I think in Vietnam, like they have locations all over. And in her book, she was talking about how she saw it, and she just sat down and had this realization of like, I cannot keep living my life knowing this is going on.
Yeah.
I can't. And I read those words and actually got to write a letter to her, and she responded. It was great. My mom went and saw her when I was in Thailand. I was like, let me give her this letter. And but it was that moment that I was like, I wanted to just travel. I wanted to teach. I wanted to just go do my fun things out in the world. And then I was like, no, I cannot. This is just the burden on my heart now. And like, I have to do this. I'm like, I feel like it's not even a choice. It's like, I have to, because if it was me out there,
it's so,
like,
you make me cry. Yeah. Well, no. And that's the things you think of, and I think like, we're so sheltered here in America in general. Like, you kind of have to go looking to learn about something like that, right? It's not like you're walking down the street in your hometown and you see something like you saw when you were 14, right? Like, that's just like, and I think it's very inspiring. And, you have definitely inspired me to figure out what that is for me, because one thing about Courtney, guys, like, she's using her business so that she can go live in Thailand and continue this mission. And, you know, she does charity, like her part of her business, she's like fundraising for human trafficking, like just continuing her mission. I just think it's such a powerful thing to pursue, owning your own business while also having this, what is that word?
Philanthropy.
You all know what we're trying to say. Philanthropy, whatever.
Yeah.
Part to your life, but it's also like part of who you just are now. And so like, I just think it's super inspiring. And like, as an entrepreneur, like trusting what is right for you and creating that life for yourself, whatever that may look like. When I wanted to ask too, so when you go there, are you like working with the children, or I mean, I'm sure it's all ages, but do you get to talk to them, or what does that even look like?
Yeah, so I actually just talked to my like boss. They are from Texas, went to my college, run this ministry up north, and her husband called me one day, quick backstory, called me one day and he was like, hey, we want to support you getting out here. So I want to pay for my wife to have 2 months of training. And like, they're missionaries. They don't have
Money.
you know, like,
Yeah.
it meant so much to me. So I was like, yep, you guys are who I'm working with. So got off the phone with her. We were doing like her orientation, and then we started talking about Thailand. And she said, at first I thought I was just going to be helping kind of in the center. They have a center in the red light district. So in the bar district, they have a place where the women can go and get dinner before work. They can get their hair done. They have group therapy available, English classes. So it's just kind of a safe haven for the women that are working. I think it's mostly women at that center. And so like that's kind of where I thought I was going to be. And then she told me, she was like, well, actually, because what I think I want to do is have you teach the women exercise and nutrition. Like I want, like, she goes, I think I want to put like life coach as your job description for the women and for the team, like helping the team get into eating healthy and stuff. And she goes, and then we also need some help teaching English. There's only one English teacher. And that's what I did in Thailand last time. And I loved doing it, and I know how to do it. And so I get to like put the skills that I feel like I have and that I enjoy doing right to work. They said they want to use my skills, you know, like they don't want to just fit me into something, but they want me to use my skills. So I will probably mainly be working with women. The children, that is where you have more like, is it overt missions, kind of like
Okay.
rescue missions, where men go in and buy the child and then they take them away. And so there's a couple different organizations that do that up there, but one of them I went and visited, but I couldn't know where it was. Like I couldn't know the address. We just had to go. I had to have 2 forms of ID to get in, no pictures, like, because it was in the mountains where they rescued kids. And so like no one could know. God. And I wasn't even allowed to see the kids. I was just allowed to see their like sustainable
setup kind of thing.
Setup. Like they had a farm, they had trade schools, they had animals, they had gardens, like all here, and teaching the kids how to use it. And then therapy, schooling, Bible classes. And then once they're ready, they let them out and they get them set up outside. But it's very, very like top secret. It's just very top secret. But it was really cool to know that is going on. And they have a ton of kids there. Like, I think it was like 100 kids that they had there. So
that's amazing.
And the men have to like go through a lot of therapy, because like I could not imagine not wanting to just like beat everybody. That's yeah. But they just have to go take them, get them out. So it's crazy. It's happening. And that's just that one place, you know, there are people all over like doing this, rescuing kids.
Wow.
So it's so awesome.
That is so Interesting. So my last question about the, like, just your experience in Thailand, because this is something that I'm just like super curious how your parents felt about you going by yourself and doing this, because I know for a fact, if I told my dad, I'm going to go, every white girl's dream, I'm going to go to Thailand. I'm going to just like F around the beach, see some elephants, right? I wanted to go by myself. And my dad was like, absolutely the hell not. That is not happening. Right. And so, I'm assuming because your parents are in alignment with this mission, but I just was curious how they felt about you going by yourself and living there and everything like that.
So that's everyone wants to know that. My mom, I came home and said, I'm moving to Thailand at some point. And my mom goes, I know, because she saw me on the trip and she was just like, I saw how you
reacted.
Yeah. And then I went like 2 years later and came back and was like, yep, that's what I want to do. And then I went like 5 years later, I was like, yep. And so they've all known. And so when I decided to go again, they were like, yeah, we were just kind of waiting for it. And then my sister's now moving to Costa Rica next year to teach English. So she's going on her own little journey. So I feel bad for my parents now, because they'll be sad now because both of us are home right now, and then we'll both be out of the country. And I'm like, I'm sorry, y'all got to come visit, I guess.
That's so cool. So your sister's like, so is she employed, or is it like a mission thing as well?
Employed. She'll get paid. She's going to get paid to go teach over there, which is kind of what I did in Thailand, but she speaks Spanish. So she's going to go to Latin America.
So cool. That is so cool. This definitely all speaks to like a part of my heart that's definitely been like put to the side a little bit. And it's just like so inspiring to hear you, but like your sister's like on the same wavelength as you. And I just think it's so cool. When I originally went to school, first of all, I hated college. I didn't stay very long, but I spoke Spanish fluently, and I wanted to go to another country and live there and help people. I just didn't know how. Part of my story, just like I grew up really, really poor. There was no way I was getting on a plane to go anywhere. Like when I moved to North Carolina, some random girl I'd never met picked me up from Maryland and took me to North Carolina. Like I didn't have a car. I had no money. I was just like, I'm going to move to North Carolina. So like I had no way of leaving. And so like, it's just very inspiring that you guys are finding these ways. And it's definitely something like I want in my life too. So I just like, I don't know. It's just super. You guys are the coolest. The McCarthys are the coolest.
Oh, well, I always have room for you to visit me. And then too, you can go like Tulum, right down south. Like it's really, I think, a lot easier to work abroad. Especially Mexico is close, and there are some really good, like safe places, safe for digital nomads. Tulum is like all digital nomads that live there.
Yeah, I definitely just like, this is so cool that like your sister's like going to Costa Rica to like teach people and help people. Like, that's just like amazing. And like, I mean, I want to, obviously like I could be a digital nomad, but my fiance wouldn't be with me.
Got it. Yep. I always forget that like people
single lady out here. I would not be here. I would probably like, Courtney, I'm coming with you. I have no reason to stay. Someone will take care of my cat while I am gone. But yeah, I just think like, even like just helping in small ways. I think, your story is just motivational that like, if you're an entrepreneur and you have this job where you create your own life, right? And you can now use your situation to have a bigger mission, or even pair it with your current business.
Oh, wait, I can't hear you. Your microphone just turned off.
You hear me? Let me unplug it. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, I can hear you now.
I take the microphone out.
Okay.
I was just saying, like, as an entrepreneur, like for anyone that's also inspired by Courtney's story, that you now have this opportunity to create a life where you have, whether you do your business and then you have another mission that you want to serve in life, or you compare the two. Like, I think it's just super see that like you could pair the two, or there could be like a bigger piece to your business. And I think that, I don't know, I just think you're a rare human, Courtney, in the sense of like, most people just aren't doing that. And I think it's because it's hard to see the forest through the trees or see outside your lane, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know if you had anything to say to like female entrepreneurs or your mission or anything like that, I would please encourage you to say it.
Well, and I think especially to female entrepreneurs, like, you have to believe in yourself. And I've realized, I think the narrative that goes on in your head is of the utmost important, that it is in control, or that you are in control of it, that it does not control you, that you don't get, run down by all these thoughts that are either not true or they're biased, and like, because I think when I first started this, I was so overwhelmed and I was just imposter syndrome and like, oh, I'm not doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. And I think bogged me down. Like my heart, it was very hard on my heart. And I was like, why am I doing this? This is for a little bit, I was like, I hate this almost, why am I doing this? And then once I just started to just believe and like, tell myself like, you've done X, Y, Z in your life. You can do this.
Yeah.
You've done hard things. You can do this. And I think, I don't know, just as women, I don't think we believe in ourselves as much as we should. Like, I believe in all of my friends. And when you talk to them, they're like, oh, I this, I that, every woman I feel like is like that. And I think we have to surround ourselves with people who believe in us. And then we have to believe that we can do it too, or at least believe that God can do it through us.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know, that narrative is just how you speak, the words speak life or destroy it, and so the coach I want to be, the person I want to be, I have to speak to myself a certain way if I want to, like, I don't know if emulate is the word, but
Yeah.
or like be that person,
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Like, you have to believe in yourself. Like, it is the hardest thing to do at first, but once you start the snowball effect of believing in yourself, like I do, we all have doubts, we're humans, but when you work on that and cultivate that belief, you really start believing, oh, there's nothing I can't do. I can get through this hard thing.
Yeah.
I did this really hard thing and this really hard thing. So I think that's definitely, number one.
Yeah. And especially because like people would ask me how the business is going and I'd be like, oh, I don't know, like it's fine, or I'd say things and they're like,
Happening.
You have this many clients, like that's great. And I'm like, no, it's not, and just, and then I started to realize like everyone else is like, oh, good job. And yet I'm like stupid, and so, yeah, I, for me personally, flipping the script and like creating a garden in my mind instead of just like death, and it just, I'm more creative. I feel like my marketing was better. I felt like I was more genuine with my clients. I feel like I put more effort in because like when at first it's like, oh, I can't do this. So then I would like almost stay away from things because, oh, I can't do that. I'm not good at that yet, and so that helped just be a happier person too. And like,
Totally.
You can't just be a good business owner. You need to, I don't know, it's all of it needs to be on the same page. And yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes so much sense. Thank you. No, I love that. And it's so true. It's so true. It's more than just, it's all encompassing, full circle, right? Like all of it's included. So, well, thank you, Courtney. I appreciate you so much. This was so fun. And I don't want to take up any more of your time. But if you guys want to follow Courtney, I'm going to put show notes down about Courtney. You can follow her on Instagram. What's your Instagram? COMCCARTH.
Okay.
And I'll put that in the show notes. And then do you have like a link or something for people to donate to your mission or anything like that?
I actually don't, but that is a really great,
Create that and send it to
really
me.
great idea. Yeah, I will.
Okay, create that, send it to me,
Yeah.
and put it in the show notes. You'll see all of Courtney's amazing adventures on her Instagram, I'm sure. And just give her some love. She's also starting a podcast, so look out for that. And I will see you soon, Courtney. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a dream come true to do this.
Yes.
Oh, yay.
All right, cool. Well, have a great Friday, and I will see you in October.
Yes, can't wait. You too.
Bye.
Bye.